Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we'll be taking a deep dive into the world of supplements. We're going to be uncovering some common mistakes people make and offer some valuable tips on how to maximize their benefits. We'll be drawing from a wealth of expert insights to help you make more informed choices regarding your supplement regimen.
Supplements, despite seeming pretty straightforward, actually have a lot of nuances that can significantly impact their effectiveness and even your health. We'll be talking about these nuances today to help you make the most of your supplement routine.
Let's start by talking about timing. It's a factor that often gets overlooked. It can significantly impact how well your body actually utilizes the supplements you're taking. You might be making the mistake of not strategically timing your supplements throughout the day.
Timing your supplements can be very important. Taking your supplements in the morning, maybe alongside a nutritious breakfast and a later lunch, can help sustain energy levels throughout the day. If you're constantly on the go, strategically timing your supplements can provide that extra boost you need to power through your busy schedule.
That's a great point. But not all supplements are created equal when it comes to timing. For example, calcium supplements shouldn't be taken right before meals.
That's because calcium can neutralize stomach acid, which is essential for breaking down food. So if you take calcium supplements right before eating, you're hindering your body's ability to digest properly.
That makes perfect sense. And how about vitamin D? Does the timing matter as much for that one?
Vitamin D is a bit more flexible. Some people experience increased energy when they take it in the morning, while others find it promotes better sleep when taken before bed. You really just have to experiment and observe your body's response to determine the ideal time for your vitamin D intake.
I've actually noticed that myself. Sometimes I feel more alert in the morning after taking vitamin D, but other times it seems to help me sleep more soundly at night.
It's all about finding that sweet spot. Another mistake I see a lot is people thinking that more supplements equals better results. They might be taking way too many at once, assuming it's going to amplify their effects.
I learned that the hard way once. I was doing a gallbladder cleanse that involved taking a ton of beetroot supplements with olive oil. It was not a pleasant experience.
That's because they can actually get lodged in your esophagus, so a gradual approach is always best. Introduce new supplements one at a time, especially if you're addressing a specific health concern. That way, you can monitor their effects and identify any potential side effects.
Now, let's talk about another critical aspect of successful supplementation: diet. You might be making the mistake of thinking that supplements can compensate for an unhealthy diet.
That's a really common misconception. Supplements are not a magic bullet. They are meant to complement, not compensate for, a healthy, balanced diet. They can provide additional support, but they work best in synergy with a nutritious eating plan.
I used to think I could eat whatever I wanted as long as I was popping a handful of vitamins, but I quickly learned that my fatigue and low energy were directly related to not getting enough protein. No amount of supplements could fix that.
Exactly. Supplements work best when they're supporting a body that's already receiving essential nutrients from a balanced diet. Let's switch gears now and talk about supplement quality.
So important. You get what you pay for, right? Cheaper vitamins often utilize low-quality ingredients and synthetic fillers that might not be great for your health. I was shocked to learn that some calcium supplements use calcium carbonate, the same ingredient in cement.
It's crucial to pay attention to the ingredients. Many vitamin companies prioritize profits over quality. You need to be an informed consumer, scrutinize labels, and opt for reputable brands that use high-quality ingredients and avoid unnecessary fillers.
What about synthetic antioxidants like beta-carotene? I've read they have been linked to potential side effects like an increased risk of certain cancers.
Sticking with natural sources is generally a good rule of thumb, with a few exceptions, of course, such as niacin and benfotiamine, which are synthetic vitamins that have proven to be both effective and safe. But in most cases, natural forms are better.
Okay, so how do we navigate the potential complications of combining supplements with medications?
It's crucial to be mindful of possible interactions. Talk to your doctor before combining supplements with medications, especially if they're for the same health condition. For instance, if you're taking medication for high blood pressure and then start taking a supplement that also lowers blood pressure, you could end up with dangerously low blood pressure.
So open communication with your healthcare provider is key.
They can guide you on potential interactions and adjust your dosages accordingly. Let's talk about dosage for a second, actually. It's not just about taking a supplement, it's about taking the right amount for your specific needs.
There are two primary reasons why people take supplements: to compensate for dietary deficiencies and to achieve specific therapeutic effects.
Exactly. And those two reasons often require different dosages. If you have a diagnosed deficiency, your doctor might recommend a higher dose to replenish your levels. If you're taking a supplement for general health benefits, a lower dose might suffice. Don't forget that genetic factors can significantly impact how your body absorbs and utilizes nutrients.
Absolutely. What works for one person might not work for another.
Some individuals have genetic variations that affect their ability to absorb or convert vitamin D effectively. Those individuals might need higher doses or different forms of vitamin D to achieve optimal levels. And don't forget about stomach acid. Its levels can significantly affect how well your body absorbs minerals. Low stomach acid can impair mineral absorption.
So what can people do if they suspect they have low stomach acid?
They might want to consider taking betaine hydrochloride. It's a supplement that helps increase stomach acidity and thus improve nutrient absorption. Speaking of specific needs, let's shift our focus to a dietary group that requires special attention to their supplement intake. Vegans.
Vegans, because they don't consume any animal products, need to be extra mindful of certain nutrients typically obtained from those sources.
Precisely. They might be missing out on crucial vitamins and minerals that are essential for maintaining optimal health. Some key supplements for vegans include vitamin B12, vitamin D3, omega-3 fatty acids from algae sources, iron, zinc, iodine, and calcium.
Sounds like vegans need to be very diligent about their supplement regimen.
Definitely. Now, let's dive into the importance of vitamin D, a nutrient that often requires supplementation regardless of dietary preferences.
Vitamin D plays a vital role in numerous bodily functions, from immune health to bone density.
It's crucial to understand that vitamin D has a relatively short half-life, about 24 hours. This means that the levels in your body significantly decrease after a day.
So we need a consistent daily supply of vitamin D to maintain optimal levels. We can get that through regular sun exposure or daily supplementation.
For maintaining healthy vitamin D levels, I recommend a daily dose of at least 10,000 IU. The risks associated with vitamin D deficiency far outweigh any potential risks of excess within recommended ranges.
That's a good point. Vitamin D deficiency is widespread and can have serious health consequences. It's definitely a nutrient worth prioritizing.
It's clear that informed decision-making is paramount when it comes to supplements. They can be powerful tools for supporting health, but only when used wisely and with proper guidance.
Resources like yourhealthfacts.com provide in-depth information and resources to empower you on your journey to optimal well-being.
Before the break, we were talking about nutrient interactions. It's so important to understand how supplements work within our bodies. A lot of people don't realize that different nutrients can actually hinder or enhance each other's absorption and how our bodies use them.
Right, it's like they're all working together in a delicate dance.
Exactly. Let's take iron and calcium, for example. You might be taking these supplements together thinking you're doing something good for your bones and your blood.
Right, you'd think that would be good for you.
Well, in reality, you could actually be reducing the absorption of both.
So what's the best approach here? Should we avoid taking iron and calcium together?
The key is to separate their intake. You can take iron supplements on an empty stomach. That's usually better for absorption. And then take your calcium a few hours later, maybe with a meal. This spacing will allow each mineral to be absorbed without interference from the other.
So it's like giving each one its own time to shine.
Precisely. Now, another interaction that many people might not know about is the relationship between zinc and copper. Too much zinc, especially over time, can deplete your body's copper levels.
Interesting. So too much of one can throw off the balance and create a deficiency in the other?
Exactly, like a seesaw. Too much weight on one side, and the other side goes flying up. That's why a lot of experts recommend taking a blend of minerals or a trace mineral supplement, rather than just focusing on one. This helps to ensure you're getting a balanced intake and minimizing the risk of imbalances.
That makes a lot of sense. So maybe taking a multi-mineral can be a safer approach, especially if you're not sure about potential interactions.
Absolutely. Now let's move on to choosing the right type and form of supplements. A lot of people assume that all supplements are created equal, but that's not true at all.
Right. I see that there are so many different forms of the same nutrient available. It's definitely confusing to know which one to choose.
Like magnesium, for example. There's magnesium citrate, glycinate, oxide, so many others. And each form has a different absorption rate and bioavailability, meaning your body might utilize them differently.
So how do we know which form is best for us?
Well, it depends on your individual needs and what you're trying to achieve with the supplement. Magnesium citrate is known for its high absorption rate and is often recommended for constipation. Magnesium glycinate is a gentler form and is usually preferred for relaxation and sleep.
So it's important to do your research and perhaps consult with a healthcare professional to figure out the best form of magnesium or any other nutrient that's best for your own needs.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about storing your supplements. You might be unknowingly degrading the quality and potency of your supplements by exposing them to things like heat, light, and moisture.
Oh, good point. I usually just keep mine in the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. Is that okay?
Well, bathrooms tend to be humid, which isn't good for supplements. It's best to store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Some supplements, like probiotics, might even need to be refrigerated. Always check the label for storage instructions.
Good reminder. I'm going to have to reassess my supplement storage.
Better safe than sorry.
Yep.
Now let's talk about getting advice on supplements. Are you just relying on information online or what you hear from other people?
I have to admit, I've fallen down the rabbit hole of internet research a few times. There's so much info out there, it's hard to know what to trust.
Right, and online info or anecdotal evidence can be misleading or inaccurate. You're much better off consulting with a qualified healthcare professional, like a registered dietitian or a functional medicine doctor. They can give you personalized guidance based on your individual health history. They can help you navigate the complexities of supplementation and make choices that are safe and effective for you.
It's like having a trusted guide to help you through that overwhelming world of supplements.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about recommended daily allowances, or RDAs. A lot of people assume that the RDA is all they need for good health, but that's not always true.
I've always wondered about that. What exactly is the difference between the RDA and what's called a therapeutic dose?
The RDA is simply the minimum amount of a nutrient that's considered necessary to prevent deficiency diseases. It's not necessarily the optimal amount for overall health or for addressing specific health concerns.
So the RDA is the bare minimum to avoid getting sick.
Right. But therapeutic doses are often higher than the RDA and are used to achieve specific results, such as reducing inflammation, boosting immunity, or improving brain function.
So a therapeutic dose is more like a targeted approach to actually optimize your health.
That's a great way to put it. And it's important to note that therapeutic doses should always be determined in consultation with a qualified healthcare professional, as they can vary a lot depending on the person and the condition being addressed.
It makes sense. You wouldn't just randomly choose a dosage for any other medication without asking a doctor.
Exactly. Now, let's move on to supplement brands. You might be tempted to just go with the cheapest option, but that could mean you're compromising on the quality and effectiveness.
It's true, you get what you pay for. So what should we look for when choosing a brand?
Look for brands that are transparent about their sourcing and manufacturing processes. They should be upfront about where their ingredients come from and how their supplements are made. They should also prioritize quality control and testing.
So transparency and independent verification are key indicators of a good brand.
Right. You might also want to look for certifications from reputable organizations such as NSF International or USP. These certifications mean that the brand meets certain quality standards.
That's really helpful to know.
Now let's talk about side effects. It's a mistake to assume that all supplements are completely safe just because they're natural.
It's true, natural doesn't always mean harmless.
While most supplements are safe when used correctly, it's important to be aware of potential side effects and interactions. Some supplements can interact with medications or have adverse effects, especially in high doses or if taken for a long time.
So you really have to do your research, talk to a healthcare professional, and pay attention to your body.
If you experience any unusual symptoms after taking a supplement, discontinue use and seek medical advice. Now, let's talk about a specific supplement that often causes concerns regarding potential side effects. Iron. Iron is an essential mineral, especially for women and individuals with iron deficiency anemia, but it's important to be mindful of potential side effects, particularly gastrointestinal issues.
Like constipation and stomach upset. I've heard those are common with iron supplements.
Yes, but there are things you can do to minimize those. First, choose a gentle form of iron, such as iron bisglycinate, which is generally better tolerated. Second, start with a light dose and gradually increase it. And third, take iron supplements with food.
So the key is to be gentle and gradual with iron supplementation.
Precisely. Now, let's talk about another supplement that requires some caution. Vitamin K. Vitamin K is essential for blood clotting and bone health, but it can interact with certain medications, particularly blood thinners.
So should people on blood thinners avoid vitamin K completely?
Not necessarily, but they should definitely talk to their doctor about it. The dosage might need to be adjusted, or they might need to monitor their vitamin K intake from food.
Again, open communication with your doctor is so important.
Now let's talk about bioavailability. This is the extent to which a nutrient is absorbed and used by your body. Different forms of nutrients have different bioavailabilities. Magnesium citrate, for example, is known for its high bioavailability, meaning your body can absorb and utilize it more effectively.
So it's not just about taking the supplement, but making sure your body can actually use it.
Exactly. Several things can affect bioavailability, including the form of the nutrient, your gut health, and other nutrients or substances that might be in your digestive tract at the same time.
So even if you're taking a high-quality supplement, you might not be getting the full benefit if your body isn't absorbing it well.
That's why it's so important to choose bioavailable forms of nutrients and to support good gut health. Now, let's talk about curcumin. This is a powerful anti-inflammatory compound found in turmeric.
I love turmeric, but I've heard that curcumin isn't absorbed very well.
That's true, but there are ways to enhance its absorption. One way is to combine it with black pepper, which contains a compound called piperine that helps with absorption. Another way is to choose a curcumin supplement that's formulated to enhance bioavailability, such as liposomal curcumin or curcumin phytosome.
So even if a nutrient has low bioavailability, there are ways to make it more effective.
Exactly. Now let's move on to consistency. Are you taking your supplements regularly or just here and there?
I've been guilty of that in the past. I would forget to take them some days.
Well, consistency is key. Supplements work best when taken regularly as part of a daily routine.
It's like anything else. You can't expect results if you're not consistent.
Now, let's talk about potential interactions with medications. You might not realize that some supplements can interfere with your meds or enhance their effects.
I've heard about things like that happening even with foods, like grapefruit juice can interact with certain medications.
Absolutely. It's crucial to talk to your doctor or pharmacist about any supplements you're taking, especially if you're on any medications. They can advise you on potential interactions and make adjustments if necessary.
So it's always better to be safe and check.
For example, did you know that St. John's wort can interact with some antidepressants? St. John's wort is an herbal supplement often used for mild to moderate depression.
I've heard of it.
Well, it can interact with certain antidepressants and could lead to a dangerous condition called serotonin syndrome.
That sounds serious. What are the symptoms of that?
It's characterized by a range of symptoms, including agitation, confusion, rapid heartbeat, high blood pressure, muscle twitching, and seizures.
Wow, that's scary. It's a good reminder that even natural supplements can have serious interactions with medications.
Exactly. Now, another mistake people make is relying solely on supplements to fix health issues without addressing the underlying causes. You might be using supplements to mask symptoms without actually getting to the root of the problem.
Right, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a wound without cleaning it first.
Exactly. Supplements can be valuable tools for supporting health and well-being, but they're not a quick fix. They shouldn't be used as a substitute for addressing the real cause of health issues.
Like taking an iron supplement for fatigue, when the real issue is something like poor sleep or stress.
Exactly. If you're experiencing fatigue, taking an iron supplement might help boost your energy levels in the short term, but it's not going to address the underlying cause of your fatigue, such as poor sleep, chronic stress, or an underlying medical condition.
So it's important to take a holistic approach to health, address lifestyle factors, diet, stress, and any underlying medical conditions, in addition to using supplements.
Melatonin is another good example of this. A lot of people take melatonin to help them sleep.
Right, it's a popular sleep aid.
It is. Melatonin is a hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycles. But relying solely on melatonin to address sleep issues without addressing the underlying causes is not a sustainable solution.
Like taking a sleeping pill every night without changing any of your sleep habits.
You need to create a good sleep environment, practice good sleep hygiene, manage your stress levels, avoid things like caffeine before bed. Those things will help a lot more than just taking a pill.
So the key takeaway here is that supplements should be used as part of a holistic approach to health and not just a quick fix.
Exactly. We've covered a lot of ground in this episode, from nutrient interactions to the importance of choosing the right brands. And of course, we've highlighted how important it is to consult with your doctor or other healthcare professional for personalized guidance.
We've covered a lot of ground today. We've learned about common mistakes people make when taking supplements and how to avoid them.
We talked about how supplements can be powerful for supporting our health, but only if they're used correctly.
We've learned about understanding those nutrient interactions, choosing the right forms, and being aware of potential side effects and interactions. We also talked about how important it is to choose good quality brands and to use supplements as part of a holistic approach to well-being.
Right. And we also emphasize consulting with qualified healthcare professionals for personalized guidance because everyone's needs are different.
Supplements aren't one size fits all. What works for one might not work for another. We encourage our listeners to keep learning about this fascinating world of supplements.
Yeah, empower yourselves with knowledge so you can make the best choices for your own health.
Remember, supplements aren't a magic bullet. They work best as part of a healthy lifestyle. The key is to approach them with a discerning eye, seeking information from reputable sources and professionals.
If you're looking for more information about supplements and other health topics, we recommend visiting yourhealthfacts.com.
It's a great resource for evidence-based information to support your health journey. That's all for today's deep dive. Stay curious and stay healthy.